G'day and welcome to Bums on the Bench. My name's Jacko. Andy's here as always.
Of course. It's my house.
Yeah, it is. We're recording in his lounge room and introducing for the first time our friend Josh.
How are you?
Good, man. Good. I'm excited for the first episode.
This is going to be good.
It should be good. I realised looking at the notebook on the table and the Facebook chat that you guys...
Know more about sport than you could ever imagine.
It is. Yes.
Fucking love sport, dude.
I like sport too. I've watched one sport probably in the last 2 weeks.
What do you
Which
mean?
one?
You watched NRL last night?
I did. That's the one sport I watched.
Okay, fair enough.
That's all I've watched.
You watched the NBL last night?
No, I haven't watched the NBL this season.
I don't watch
Oh,
the
yeah, I don't
NRL.
blame you. It's awful.
There's only one basketball to watch, and that's the American one.
No,
Yeah.
actually, you know what? You know who fucking slap?
Who?
The WNBL. They are actually fantastic players and would
Name
destroy.
me 5 WNBL.
I cannot. I've watched 3 matches, though, and you know what? They actually can score.
You know what's great? There's NBA players that can't even name WNBA players. They like try and push for equal pay, and they're like, name 5, and they're like,
I can name
"Oh."
one. Stephanie Griner.
Who was the bitch that was? Isn't it?
No, that's the one that
Brittany?
went to Russia.
Yeah, that's the
I thought
Russian
it was
one. with-
Brittany.
It was Brittany. Did you not say
I can name
Brittany?
half of one.
Oh, gee. I thought you said Brittany.
I said Stephanie.
90 seconds into it, and Jack's already making up stories.
Let's go.
We're back to normal.
Look, things don't change. It's a new year. I'm not changing.
A new show.
A new show, new colour scheme. That's about it. New host.
Yeah. Same shit.
Same shit as always. We have a lot to cover this afternoon. Now, from my memory,
Yeah.
we have a little bit of cricket.
There is a little bit of cricket, yes.
There is a little bit of NRL.
There is a little bit of NRL.
Mhm.
You missed the first one I suggested, though.
No, I'll get to it in a second. What'd you say?
Want to talk about the trade deadline in the NBA because that happened at like 5 o'clock this morning our time.
We'll start with that then.
Okay, so big news from the American Basketball League, also known as the NBA.
Hit us with it.
First of all, we have to go back to the 1st of the 23rd, which was the first big trade.
Was this Mr. Irving? Or
No,
not
this was
yet?
Rui Hachimura going from the Washington Wizards to the LA Lakers.
Oh goddamn! Do they think it's finally gonna like do something for their attacking squad other than just relying on like LeBron for the entire time?
Yes, actually, because of what
No way.
what has happened. So this kicked off the trades. The next one was the one you were alluding to, which was the Kyrie Irving to the Dallas Mavericks for Doran Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie plus a bunch of picks in the
was it
draft.
first and second picks or something.
So there's
like
like first round pick in 2027, 2029, second round picks. And yeah, there was for Kyrie Irving and Markieff Morris.
I can't stand Kyrie Irving. I'm happy.
I cannot stand Kyrie Irving anyway, but it gave Luka something. Because Luka Doncic just needed one more star, and he's got that star.
I do like Luka.
I love Luka. I think he's fantastic. He's the classic white man, can barely dance when he does something amazing, but he'll drop 50, 20, 10 or something, and you're like, holy shit. That kicked us off. And then everyone was like, well, the Nets must be blowing up because KD mustn't stay. And sure enough, KD secretly gets traded to the Phoenix Suns for Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and a bunch of picks. And when I say a bunch of picks, I mean a bunch of picks.
Like 5+?
It was like 4 fucking first-round picks and one's a swap. It was massive. And TJ Warren and KD go to the Phoenix Suns. Oh, and Jay Crowder started on the Brooklyn Nets, but he has gone later into another trade, which involves the Los Angeles Lakers.
no way.
Because the Los Angeles Lakers did a 3-team trade. The first one was D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt going from Utah to the LA Lakers. Utah gets the Russell Westbrook contract. A bunch of other players who I don't know. The first round pick protected so if they get the top 4 pick, it goes back to the Lakers.
Yep.
But if it doesn't, then Utah Jazz gets it. And the Minnesota Timberwolves have helped out by so they've sent a bunch of people to Los Angeles to get this trade across because Mike Connolly and Nickeil Alexander-Walker plus 3 second-round picks are going to them to make this trade happen. So all of a sudden, LeBron now has D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt.
And the most points scored ever or something?
Yeah, he
32,
recently broke
388.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record.
Like, didn't they like ask him how he felt? And you'd be like, God damn, dude. Like, imagine going to the dude he doesn't really like in the first place. But like, hey, how you feeling about this guy that's just smashed your record? It's going to leave you looking like a little bitch.
He was pretty okay with it, to be honest.
Yeah,
You
like in front of the camera.
In front of the camera, he was very happy for it.
don't really have a choice though to be
gotta
anything
be
but
humble.
okay, because like he doesn't have the option to be like, well, I'll come back and do another season, or like get me in for a free throw or two. Like I'll just track him along. So it's like I guess, oh well, it happens.
And the other major one was James Weissman has left the Golden State Warriors for Detroit. Atlanta's picked up Sadiq Bey, and Golden State have picked up Kevin Knox and 5 second-round picks. That was the other major trade out of all this.
I guess the big takeaway.
Oh, and Mo Bamba's gone to the Lakers for...
Obama went to the Lakers?
I thought he said Mo Bamba.
I did. Mo Bamba.
Isn't that a rap song?
You mean Mamba number 5?
No, not that one. I don't know what I'm talking about.
You really don't. But yeah, Mo Bamba's gone from the Orlando Magic to the Lakers, and the Lakers get Patrick Beverley.
Does he wear number 5?
No, Paolo used to wear the 5, but he could wear it at the Lakers. You never know.
Please.
I just think it's
That'd be really
destined to be
funny.
at this point. Yeah.
I think he was like 2 or 3 or something. I don't know. I can't remember.
But so the Nets have essentially been stripped.
Yeah, so Ben Simmons turned up on the Nets and they decided, fuck this, and everyone left.
I stopped supporting the 76ers because I hated Ben Simmons so much. I went to the Nets because I like Patty Mills and KD, and they've taken everything but Patty Mills from me.
Yep.
And I've got Ben Simmons back.
You do have Ben Simmons back, but it's better than supporting the team I fucking support.
Your Chicago Bulls?
Yeah, and they lost to the Nets today, and it was embarrassing. Patty Mills was good. Ben Simmons got a triple single.
I don't care. I hate Ben Simmons.
I know, he didn't play in the second fucking half, and the Nets decided to win. And I feel like it's because Ben Simmons didn't play in the second half.
Probably. He's not that good of a basketballer.
He sucks.
Did you see once his reputation got really, really damaged towards the end of last year, he tried to win some cred back by being like, oh, I'll play for Australia next time.
No.
You didn't see that?
Do you know there's three players from Melbourne that have gone to the NBA, and 2 of them suck dick?
Yeah, Giddy's one?
No, I'm talking about 3 stars.
Oh, right.
Andrew Tate, who was the good one.
Yep.
Ben Simmons. And I bet you didn't know this, Kyrie Irving was born in Melbourne.
I hate Kyrie Irving too.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving's technically an Australian citizen.
Gross.
Australian basketballers suck.
He's an he grew up in America and everything, but he has Australian citizenship. I learned that the other day, and I got disgusted.
Hawks were how many? 3 wins this season?
3, which
3.
is...
I'd pray for 3 wins for the Bulls.
Oh, no, dude. Like, speaking of the NBL very quickly, the Hawks last year had Brian Goorjian, one of the best basketball coaches around. Not the best NBA coach, but, you know, for all the styles of games that isn't the NBA, Gorge is one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Took us to, the playoffs, hadn't been there in years, got our name back. They stripped the Illawarra from the name last year, and we had to play for it back. Got it back. This dude's his protege, whoever the coach is. I forgot his name.
Clearly can't coach other people that need to coach for shit.
No, and then also every import we bought in but one got horribly injured and couldn't play for the year. So we got...
Yay team.
Yeah, real bad injuries, but also, I haven't watched it. I just...
It was bad.
After losing the first 5, I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch something else.
Watching some of the games, like when we did local derby against the Kings, I don't even know how we managed as many points as we did, but doesn't matter how much we can capitalize on it. I've never seen more losses and a more demoralized team than what they brought out.
I'm shocked you'd say that because you support the St. George Dragons.
Hey,
we're looking up, baby.
All I'm saying is race to the wooden spoon, baby. Let's fucking go.
You and the Tigers.
I really thought it would have been Warriors, but clearly they've just put Tigers in their place. Like, what the fuck was that? I'll cover that later.
We'll go to the NRL last because I think we could talk for hours on that.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
We got 10 minutes out of the NBA.
I think that's enough about the NBA because you watch it.
I do watch it. I think I'm the only one that does watch it actively.
Regularly.
I watch every so often, yeah.
I watch every Bulls game, and I wish I didn't.
I came over when he was watching the Bulls game the other day, and I was like walking into a losing Roosters final, man. It was a bad time.
And no, to be fair, he bitched more about it in the second half than I did.
That's par for the course.
They didn't get a single shot. Seriously.
And then the refs as well. In that game.
The refs too. They were shocking. Like
after that game, fucking the 2 commentators for the Bulls, because in the NBA you get biased commentary. You can watch the Bulls commentary team, or you can watch the other team's commentary team, unless they're on TNT, which was why today sucked. Because I didn't get to listen to Adam Amin and Stacey King bullshit on the refs. But these guys gave the refs absolute crap after that game me and Jack watched. Next game, they had to come out and apologise to the refs.
They weren't good.
How scathing are we talking?
They were calling for heads to roll.
Essentially standing on the sideline, not commentating, yelling about being like, you're cheating. You'd be like,
You're
that's a
missing
foul!
calls.
That's a foul! And they're the commentators.
How many of them were actually fouls?
The last 2 minute report came out for that game, and there was like 7 fouls missed in the last 2 minutes. That would have potentially swung the game the Bulls' way.
And blatant.
Which is not the first time this season that has happened. You get the last 2 minute report and you see 16 fouls that the Bulls should have gotten, or fouls against the Bulls that shouldn't have been fouls.
It was
Absolutely,
bad. And
It's like watching the fucking NRL referee dude on Monday.
Here we go.
The NRL referee on a Monday just being like, yeah, well, this is the reason why. But the last minute report's like, yeah, no, they fucked up. But there's nothing you can do about it because the game's over.
classic Roosters supporter.
What do you mean?
Even when he wins, he's not happy with the result.
I watched this man get back to back, and I was like, how do you feel? He's like, if Jared Sutton fucking did something differently, we would have beat him by 50 points, not 30.
I mean, he's got a point.
That was a pretty accurate rendition of you too.
Yeah, Jared Sutton is a piece of shit.
No one likes Jared Sutton, but you in particular.
I know. We know one person who hates him more.
My little brother.
Boy, how does he let you know about it?
Oh, man.
It's great watching the footy with your bro.
It's not good watching any sport with my brother.
No,
except
it's
for the Big
fantastic.
Bash. Because he doesn't know enough about it to get angry.
No,
And then we
that
just-
or the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumbles are the best thing to watch with him.
Oh. I mean, it depends what viewpoint you're coming from, but sure.
He's funny. Let's talk about the cricket before we go much further off into the trails, gentlemen. Joshy, what do you got for us in the world of cricket?
Well, boys, I mean, we just had the BBL wrap up. It was a very exciting season once again. It was beautiful to watch Melbourne Stars flop, Thunder flop, specifically David Warner flop once again.
I'm a Thunder fan.
Why?
I like the colour green. That's it.
I would prefer you to go for the Stars at that point.
No, because I hate Melbourne more than I like the colour green.
All right, no, that's fair.
That's fair.
I can't really take you on that. But quickly before I get into the Scorchers game, just want to say a little bit of hot news. Just because we were speaking about Stars as is. Do you hear Zampa?
Yeah,
He's getting traded?
Getting traded to the Renegades.
Yeah, like it's, they can't really certify it just yet because they're not allowed to do trading holds. They're on trading hold at the moment.
I believe so, yeah.
But it looks like Sam Harper's going to come across and, give him a little bit of batting strength they've really required.
Wasn't Zampa like standing captain at some point this year?
He was just the captain this year.
Oh, okay. So they just like, you can go.
Yeah, they got rid of like a world-class spinner. And they're like, no, we need more. But which I can't blame them. They do have Maxwell coming back next year, but I really can't see them putting out more if they don't use Harper well.
My only memory from Zampa this year is they had him in commentary, and I think it was for a Hobart and Brisbane game early in the season, maybe like first 10 games, and he was the worst and most boring commentator they've ever had in the box.
Was he too busy
sucked.
just like stroking his hair back and making sure he looked pretty?
Pretty much. He was more focused on being cool than he was about talking about the game. And like most sports commentary, hit or miss. Big Bash commentary, brilliant.
Most of the time, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have the old mates in the commentary box talking smack, and then Mark Howard.
You got Brett Lee kind of doing his own thing sometimes too. I don't know really what he interjects.
Unfortunately, we lost the best Big Bash commentary duo this past year because I thought Warnie and Roy were the best together.
Always.
the most
Warnie's-
chemistry out there.
They were so good together.
I mean, he was the best, yeah.
Except for the fact that, RIP to Warnie, but I've never seen a man shit talk more and just he's the most full of himself than Warnie. Had right to be, but goddamn, he loved to flex the fact that he was on the ICC World Committee determining all the rules and
I
everyone
love
had to
that.
know about it.
I loved it.
He was funny while he did it, which is important. Like, you can't...
In hindsight,
Yeah, in hindsight, he was very funny.
He was.
great guy. RIP. But getting up into the exciting action now, turning up the heat.
You feel really good about that, don't you?
Yeah, it was a scorcher of a joke.
Please tell me you didn't...
you.
Please tell me you didn't write that in your book.
No.
Good. Because if you pre-planned that, it's even worse.
But anyway, I digress. We had a fucking hot match out at Perth, you know, first of all, temperature-wise, but also just of how contested that fucking game was. With Heat coming out roaring, losing only, one wicket in the first over second over, coming out 2 for 26, and then starting up a partnership for another 10 overs where they get, an 82-run partnership in that time?
Something like that.
Only just to bring out the power play and lose 2 wickets within the same over.
It was the year for that, though. Every single time a power play was called, they'd normally drop 1 or 2 very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really changed the momentum for the bowlers and the batsmen. Like, just carked it. Like, even still, I have to admit, he came out really swinging. They knew what they were doing. They started off strong, and they even got 175. It's pretty respectable. And, like, you're thinking, because, you know, listening to the crowd out there, they're starting to fall pretty silent when it's halfway through squads, because they're going, shit. We've just lost 2 in the power play coming off, gone on 178, needing... How many do they need by, like, 3 over? Like 38 with 18 remaining or something like that?
Probably, but in Big Bash cricket, that's doable.
Oh, fuck yeah, it was doable, because trust me, when you saw, what was it, Cooper, he brought out, like, because they brought out Beasley to do another bowl, give him another over, like, so I think it was one of his ends. Worst mistake they could have made, because Cooper just took it up hook, line, and sinker, going, 6-2-4-0-0-6. He just scored the majority of their runs needed just by Beasley throwing some pretty awful overs to him.
And it was also the first year that the Heat didn't have Lynn, who was score-wise the best batsman in BBL history.
Oh, definitely. Like, I don't know why they don't win. I really don't.
He left them, not they left him.
I thought it was he. Well, he went to Adelaide, didn't he?
He did, the other blue team.
Yes.
Yeah. So very similar uniform.
But, like, the problem is, Heat was also losing 3 of their best players. They lost Khawaja, Labuschagne, and who was the other one that went out?
Renshaw.
Yeah, Renshaw. And yeah, like, I thought, you know, it would have been a demolishing of a game comparative to the low scoring between Sydney and Heat, on Thursday. I don't think either team broke 100.
On the Sixers got 116, Brisbane got 117.
Yeah, but
still very low.
Very low because they got it in the 18th over.
Yeah.
Well, the commentary keeps hampering on that about 150, 160 is
par.
par. Yeah, that's sort of what you want. So to get like 50 runs under that is impressive.
But I mean, you know what's more impressive? The Thunder got really under that a lot this year.
We
bowled out for how many, Andy? Sorry,
15.
There it is, 15.
Y'all could never do something like that. Your teams are too scared to set a total that they knew they could defend of 15. We defended it.
They just wanted a challenge.
We won that one, didn't we?
Absolutely.
I thought we won that one. That's why we didn't in the final. It was our grand final.
You are the winners of this year purely by that alone.
It was. I don't know why I keep supporting them. It's simply the uniform. I'll tell you that. The uniform's fantastic. But every year they have a good lineup.
Are you sure about that?
Yep. I know nothing about cricket, but it always looks good. And every year they just go, look, we were doing all right. We were sitting in the top 3 for the first 10, 15 games. We were up there.
For the first game.
Yeah, it was about 5 games. Then
your
really
second
stuck
game,
around 4th to 6th.
Your second game, you bowled out Adelaide Strikers for 139, and your return was 15. That was the second game of the
game you
season.
won, by the way.
That game you won, and you scored 15.
It's like golf. The lower you get, the better you do.
Yeah.
We were also
weren't
resting
talking
them
about-
for the week ahead. It was a rest.
You don't rest in BBL cricket.
Unless you're a fast bowler, those guys actually put in some work. Everyone else just kind of hangs around.
Bro, I couldn't imagine being a fast bowler. That kills your shoulder so much.
Yeah,
Kills
just
everything.
ask Paddy Cummins and fucking Mitchell Stark. Their shoulders will be ruined.
Oh, yeah. No, it's definitely... Like, I don't even know how they do it sometimes, especially when you watch Starkey do, 4 or 5 overs in a row, and you're thinking to yourself, you're just swinging your arm straight out. How is it not killing your shoulder?
And fucking Neeser will do 10, 12 overs straight in shield cricket. He'll just bowl. He'll just keep bowling. He's like, no, just keep me on.
It's true. However, we saw the most interesting bowling action I've ever seen in cricket history debut this year in the BBL. Pat Dooley. He played for the Hobart Hurricanes as a spinner.
Hey, is that really weird?
Windmills
kind
it.
of
Both
yeah.
both arms move at the same time as he bowls. Insane.
can I just say one thing before we go on about how good it is? There's only one person that really just kind of hammered it down, and really it did not matter when he bowled.
Who?
Stevie fucking Smith.
Oh, of course.
The golden child of the Sixers.
Mr. Comes plays 3 games, gets 300s in them or whatever.
It was first Sixers 100 in his first game back.
Yep.
And then he followed it up with a double. And then he got 65, I think, the next one.
Yeah, perfect.
Man came in. He did, I think it was in 4 games, he managed to get more sixes than anyone else in the entire BBL, even after they had played. How many matches was it at the time?
There's 14 matches in total in the season.
Yep. So about 12 matches. So he literally a third and beat everyone.
Well, I mean, he is playing for the Sixers. You'd want to hope he hits 6s.
At the SCG, though, where it is known to be even a longer pitch.
It might be remiss of me to say, but like, that's what we expect of Steve Smith, right? Like, he's just that good.
But he delivers it still. Like, how that man's been here since the start of BBL, and he's still got form like that.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to play it every year because usually he's wrapped up in test matches or he's playing ODIs or something.
Because he's that fucking good.
And he had a year off too, didn't he?
He did have an enforced year off.
Took a year off.
Where he played park cricket and smashed like 950 in a game. It's like if LeBron James played in the fucking WNBA, he'd score 850 points a game.
Would that even be fun to watch?
That would be hilarious to watch for the first game.
And then you'd get bored.
Yeah, good highlights package.
LeBron gets so bored, he'd just throw him from halfway. He's just like, maybe it'll go in.
Just do a full toss every time now. It's going to be hit for 6 either way.
Exactly.
Just bounce him. Just bounce him.
But since we've made this segue into Steve Smith, I suppose we should start talking about international cricket and
because
our lovely tour video that's currently going on.
Oh, yeah, the one win on the lose.
It's not looking great so far.
It's really not.
To be fair, we did have to rest a few players this first test because they were not looking great. I mean, who did we lose? We had
well, Stark's out with an injured finger. Cameron Gain's out with an injured finger.
Hazelwood's
done with his Achilles. So we've got Scotty Boland and Pat Cummins leading the attack with Nathan Lyon and Todd Murphy debuting.
But we bring back Stark and Green in the next test.
Yeah, the next test should have Stark and Green, which means Boland will probably be done if they're going to continue with this 2-spinner.
But we really kind of need our batsmen to take a bit more off. Like, I know it's like a really, really dry pitch.
What did Travis Head do to get dropped?
Bro, I have no idea. Like,
well, I mean, Renshaw's injured his knee this morning, so he's out.
Renshaw hasn't been in for 4 years, and they decide to drop Head, who, now, mind you, I did look it up. He does have some pretty bad statistics, one of the worst of Australia's statistics over in India.
Yeah.
What is it, about an average of 20?
Yeah, he didn't do well in the Pakistan tour, that's for sure.
No, but I don't think Renshaw should have come in. I don't think he's deserving of the spot, unfortunately, comparative to Head.
No, you say that, but what they look at when they're picking the Australian team is they look at the Shield cricket, which I do a lot for work, and Renshaw has had a pretty decent year in Shield cricket. So it sort of made sense to bring Renshaw back into the fold. But Marcus Harris isn't doing much in Shield cricket. I mean, he did score a century in the first match back yesterday. That was probably his first century of the season.
Last one too.
Yeah, probably. But you know what I mean? Like that's how they determine how we pick Australian players, is they look at the Shield system and they look at who's doing good and who's not and who has a name. Renshaw, unfortunately, has a name because he's gotten caps. So he gets a look in before someone who they can debut.
The solution is obvious, though. We should just play South Africa again.
Oh,
because that was no competition.
I mean, if we really want to do that, we just versus the Windies.
They've not been good for quite a while.
They used to be fantastic. Them and Pakistan were like incredible, but then basketball hit, and Pakistan decided that they had a new favorite sport to watch.
Yeah.
So I mean, as for India, I don't think we're going to go too well. I mean, 177 of 63.5 overs. We might as well be playing a one-dayer at that point, but even still, it's not a respectable score.
Yeah, and if we look at it right now, currently at this present moment while we're recording, they are currently at a drinks break, and India are 5 for 189.
That's actually not bad.
It's not bad, but it's still not great considering we got bowled out for 177.
But...
Oh, and someone other than Todd Murphy took the 5th wicket. Was lying.
Wait, are you telling me Murphy's gotten 4 wickets?
Murphy's got 4 wickets on debut.
Bruh.
He's played 5 Shield matches too, by the way.
That's Very impressive.
This kid will take over for Lyon. He's very competent as a spinner.
Oh, great. We needed new spinners too. Like, our fast pace is still good, and we got a couple more years under, like, Stark and stuff like that. But our spinners, I mean, Gaz is getting a little bit up
It's
there in
Gaz,
age.
and that's it.
Yeah.
But that's it. If you think about it, Zampa, as much as he wants to be the test spinner, will never be the test spinner.
No.
He's never played it. He's played one red ball game in the last 4 years in Shield terms. So that's no. Other than that, I can't think of another spinner other than Todd Murphy who was even looking at it. Oh, actually, fucking Swepson. Swepson was the other guy, but he's getting up there in age too now.
How old's Swepson these days?
Not as young as Todd Murphy, because Todd Murphy's only like 20.
Is he only 20?
He's only like 20 or 21.
Bro, he's got such a career ahead of him.
Yeah, so I think Swepson's long and dusted. I think it's Todd Murphy will be the show.
That's all right. I mean, we still need to kind of invest a little bit more into spin bowls, especially on our softer greens. Like, coming out to Melbourne and Sydney, it's just so much more advantageous.
I think we need to stop using Cameron Green as the sixth batter and we get an all-round spinner. I think that might be the way to go, but not Ashton Agar. Whoever thought that was a good idea for the last test should be shot into a cannon.
Agar is a 2020 player, and that's it.
Yeah, he's not a test player.
He does not have the stamina to kind of continue his bowling form.
No.
And it is super different with the test too, like,
because it's 5 days.
It's 5 days, and I'm a big bass watcher because I like the excitement, and I like the fact it's, 2 and a bit hours, it's all over.
That's why I like T20 cricket.
Yep. But those test matches, you do need to have, like, the physical endurance, but also that mental endurance to just keep putting the ball on the spot exactly, and nothing is happening.
Yeah, and that's why guys like Hazelwood and Glenn McGrath, Paddy Cummins and Brett Lee and that were really good at Test cricket because they had the patience to put it on the spot. They had the patience to continually hit the same spot and eventually get the wicket.
But see, this leads us into our next problem, and I can't remember who provided the interview, but they were talking about how a lot of the players need to start learning to get that test mentality again, because we're getting a lot that only want to stick to like the T20, become the superstars, and then kind of go for an international, but they're not extending that into representing Australia as well.
No, I get that, and the issue lies in the money.
And also
the most
the
money,
mental fortitude as well.
Well, no. I think right now, where do you make the most money in cricket?
IPL.
You make it in IPL. You make it in T20 formats. The money they're making in the test format, the people who have paid the most in test match cricket are people like Steve Smith, Dave Warner, the names that are already established because those guys have multi-million-dollar sponsorship deals behind them. A guy like Todd Murphy's probably only getting like 60, 70K for this. You know what I mean?
I mean, to be fair, he's starting up because like almost every name on the Australian lineup is a name.
It is.
And I think that's where the kind of all-star title comes from, is when you have that testing. That's when you can start getting those sponsorship and bring stuff back to the BBL. But staying in it, like, I can't tell you many names from the BBL. I can't tell you many names from the Sixers, and I'm an avid fan.
Jordan Silk.
I mean, okay, I know Silk, I know Abbott, I know Smith. Like,
yeah, but again, those are the big names.
Like,
of
yeah,
They're
BBL.
the big names of BBL.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they're easier to be big names because, man, half the players in BBL are very much not noticed.
And what you're saying, and the other thing that comes back to that too is those people you just said about the BBL, the Jordan Silks, the Matty Wades, the Sean Abbotts and stuff. Those guys who are just below the test tier level, those guys are playing one-day internationals for Australia, and if they're not playing those, they're in the Shield games. They're in the state sides playing, which is a little bit more money. You know what I mean?
But they don't have the fame from it. Like, when do you hear them talking, like, saying, "Oh, we're going international and playing shit"? It's not as common.
They actually do. So at the end of the Shield season, keep an eye on cricket.com.au because you'll get a list of names that are going over to play county cricket in England. And
I know that, but I'm talking like in Australia, like the fans. They are not recognisable as household names by not being within that test format.
I'll go with Joshy on that too because I'm a relatively casual cricket fan.
Mm.
I'm also, like, most of my sports, I'm relatively casual at. Like, I'll watch it when it's on. I'm never on the websites. I'm never on anything else. Australian cricket does seem to have a severe lack of getting into people's phones unless, you have to look.
You have to be on the app to watch So that's the thing. And they don't promote it that much.
That's the big thing too, right? Like, I'm sure we would know a lot more of these players and knew what they were up to if it was more in our faces, like other sports are.
There's one Shield match that goes onto TV at any point in the year. That's the final.
President's 11?
No, it's the final. The one-dayers get played on Fox Cricket. However, how much coverage do you really think they're getting advertised for?
Barely anything.
It's barely any. If
I
you
don't
watch
see
it,
ads for it.
exactly. If you're watching the Fox Cricket channel, you're seeing ads for the BBL. You're seeing ads for the Australian Test. You're seeing ads for fucking India v Pakistan or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're seeing those sort of ads. None of these guys are going to get a name until they advertise Australian cricket and start promoting that more.
But that's what they're doing with this new, the contract share between Foxtel and Seven. Kind of getting a little bit more coverage of the cricket, such as the BBL and stuff like that, having on free-to-air TV.
Yeah, but they're only putting like the BBL and stuff on it. I'm not talking about the BBL. BBL will be fine.
But it can be a breakthrough. Having that BBL, I reckon, on live TV is good and free-to-air. It will get the demographic that might get people more interested in going to the later ones.
It's certainly a step forward in the right direction.
The majority of the BBL used to be on free-to-air TV.
When it first started, it did. Yeah.
And it didn't do shit, so that's why it got put behind Foxtel.
However, you now have initiatives like, what is that New South Wales one where, like, get out and do stuff in New South Wales. And especially, I reckon, I know a little bit off topic, but like you think about COVID and stuff like that, how that brought Time Zone. That brought that back from the brink of death. And I think by investing this money, if they start a public TV campaign plus having this like get out in New South Wales stuff, get out in Sydney stuff, you might actually be able to start a following for it.
Yeah, I get that.
I hope so. Shield cricket
Is the
in
worst.
isolation does need a boost though, because
It's the worst.
as good as the BBL is, we saw throughout the BBL, a couple of the commentators were keeping us up to date on the auctions for the IPL that were happening through the season, right?
Yep.
My only fear is if it is too BBL focused and you start to make a name, you'll get sold for $5-6 million to the IPL, which is not a bad deal whatsoever. Like, go get your money, go play the game you want to play.
In, yeah.
But Shield cricket is that feeding ground up into Test from the start of our conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something needs to be done around Shield to get people more interested in that, because that's where that fortitude is built and the longevity is built. I'm just worried that not really worried, I couldn't give less of a shit. But if all the focus is on BBL, I think we'll see more of a funnel to international 2020s.
That's what
leaving us with
that
the
was what I was
same-
trying to sort of say, is if you funnel into the BBL and you don't support the grassroots of Shield and one-day domestic cricket, people are going to go towards the IPL. They're going to go towards the 100 over in England. They're going to go towards the PSL, the Caribbean leagues and that sort of stuff and make a buck.
But yeah, something needs to happen for the internal domestic comp, because that is the feeding ground to get people excited about those players into the Test team.
Yes. And into the one-day teams and not just the T20s.
And I'll make it very clear, I don't care what they do. I'm probably still not going to watch it. Like, it doesn't matter what they do. It's maybe it's just the nature of a 5-day sport.
It's a 4-day sport.
4-day sport. It's a long time.
It is a long time for it to end up in a draw. I think it's like 50% of the matches end up in, which is why there's a dwindling in Shield viewership.
Which is the whole point why they invented the 2020, was to be like,
We
our
need
sport's
result.
dying.
Yeah.
We need to get people excited and watching us. Unfortunately, people got too excited and went, well, let's just cut the dead weight. This can just only be cricket now.
Yeah. There's a very easy solution to fixing Shield cricket.
Kick the South from the comp.
Yes.
I agree. If we remove the South from the NRL, it will fix cricket.
It will fix cricket.
Do you know what? If Albo gets rid of his own team, I will watch some Shield cricket.
Hey, isn't the PM supposed to take one for the people?
For the people.
We are the people,
And we want South kicked out.
and we want South kicked out. I agree.
I think we've just lost every South fan listening, and I don't care.
I'm
Let's
okay
be
with
honest,
that.
we probably didn't have many anyway, because I don't think they know how to work Spotify.
If
I was going to say they don't have phones. Cut.
no, that's good. That can stay. That's fine.
No,
My
it's
dad's
not.
a South fan, and
What?
he barely knows how to use a phone.
Does
Does he have teeth?
No, they're all fake. He got them all punched out when he was young.
That's funny.
He literally
was it
doesn't
at
have any real
South's
teeth.
games?
No, he was a cop. So it was against meth head South fans, I think.
Fuck, taking out his own kind.
It happens. The crazy part is he used to be a St. George fan, And then he said to me recently, this was only last year. I was at his house. I don't know why I was at. I think I was to pick up a fucking cabinet or something. And we're sitting there talking about the footy, and we're talking about St. George. He goes, I have something to tell you. And he goes, I'm actually a South fan. I've been a South fan for a long time. Which, for him, he was right to feel ashamed by.
Does Luke even speak to him anymore?
Yeah, on occasion.
Was that him coming out to you?
It felt like he was going to tell me he was gay. Which honestly would have been far better news than finding out your own dad's a South fan and the team that he made you support growing up, he never actually really cared for that much.
So when are you swapping to the Roosters?
He made you support the Dragons?
Well, he was like, yeah, it's the family team. Like, your pop goes for him, I go for him, you should go for him.
Well, that's a fucking lie.
Yeah, your whole life's a lie, man.
Pop, definitely. I'm one of the best liars I've ever met, so I will agree with that. Pop, though, massive Steelers fan. Steelers is technically our team. But they don't exist anymore. So now I go for St. George. But with everything that's happening to St. George, I think I'm going to watch AFL this year. Because I'm not supporting anyone else. Because everyone else's jersey is shit and their team sucks.
Why aren't you going to go for the Dolphins? They needs all the help they can
are
get.
just a knockoff Dragons.
And they're from Queensland.
Queensland.
How dare you?
What are we?
I'm just trying to get this new team some fans.
Look, they're going to have...
I'm not going to support them. I support a good team.
Hey, man, listen, we all know the only reason your team's good is because of those lucrative advertising deals on Bondi Beach.
Oh, I absolutely agree. And I love that that's a reason my team's good. I love the salary sombrero.
Yeah, I was going to say, when that salary cap report comes out, let's just watch Roosters lose another premiership or two.
The salary cap report will come out and we're all clear because Uncle Nick gives them the right books, not the wrong books.
I don't like Nick Politis simply because he's too smart not to get caught. What I like about NRL is it's an inherently idiotic sport.
Yes.
Played by idiots.
Yeah,
watched by idiots.
And none of them have driver's licenses.
No, it's
as proven by your boy Jaden Sullivan today.
What happened to Jaden Sullivan
What
today?
has Sullivan done?
He got done driving with a suspended license and pleaded guilty to it.
Oh, God, we've lost another player.
How many is that? So let's go through the list of what we've lost.
So on my own.
So Ramsey's out because he can't shit properly.
Next year, though.
Next year.
Talatau, man.
Talatau moans out because he tried to kill someone with a hammer.
Still funny as fuck.
It is, and he should be in jail. I'm not the footy fan who'll go like, oh, let him off. We need him for the team. No. If you try and kill a tradie with a hammer, you should go to jail.
Yeah.
End of fucking story.
You've got Jack the Felon still on your team.
Right. Don't like him
one
either.
Of the highest paid.
He was one of the highest paid when he wasn't playing.
Yeah. Who else have we lost?
Were we talking about trades as well? We're talking just injuries.
Oh, trades, we got rid of a bunch of decent front rowers. We got rid of Jackson Ford.
We got rid of Tarek Sims.
Yeah, you sent him to Melbourne.
We got rid of...
But he's kept Sharon Woods.
Dude, Sharon Woods is currently injured.
Blake Laurie.
I'm sorry. Don't you disrespect. Do you mean try scorer Blake Laurie? He broke the duck last year. He barged over for one.
Okay, he's doing better than Alex Twal.
Alex Twal. Idiot. Dragons, Josh, I think... we've already accepted this. We've got the wooden spoon.
I've accepted the wooden spoon.
We've got the wooden spoon.
Oh, I think the Tigers will give you a run for your money.
No, I don't. I know they lost last night.
To the Warriors.
Yes, but the Warriors also played pretty much everybody but two players.
Yeah, but also the Warriors are the best team in New Zealand only.
And last year they weren't the best team in New Zealand.
Why, who's the other team?
They weren't in New Zealand. Now they're back, so they are actually one of the best teams in New Zealand.
No, they are the best team in New Zealand.
It's true, they are the best team in New Zealand. But no, look, Dragons, I don't know what's happening, but it's not good.
We also lost McCulloch. Don't forget about that.
Oh, we lost McCulloch.
Yeah,
he retired.
Yeah, but
That's
that was really
different.
hard on our, we don't have a hooker now.
No, we did. We bought in Little.
Wait, Jacob Little went there? I thought he was playing.
From
no,
the
it was
Tigers.
Simpkins at the Tigers last night.
So we bought Little from the Tigers. But the Tigers have actually bought some really good players. They've got Staines. You don't like him because you don't like Penrith because you think the Roosters should win everything. So you shut up for a minute. They got Staines in. Staines is good. The Forbes Ferrari nickname sucks. Forbes sucks too. Parks is better. They'll hate that out in the country.
Fair enough.
They also bought in Isaiah Papali'i.
Yeah.
Brilliant buy.
He was spewing over that one.
Appy Coruscant.
Appy was spewing over that to begin with.
He got in trouble for it too, remember? They've got Luke Brooks in the half, so they're probably going to be bottom 8.
You forgot their biggest signing. They're apparently bringing back John Bateman from England for 18 months when he gets homesick.
Yeah, I was going to say he's not going to last. He'll be there for a little while. They've also got Sheen's back.
And then Benji's taken over in 2 years.
Yep. And Robbie Farah is still hanging around.
I'm surprised Robbie Farah isn't suiting up for him.
He's in the blue
like a fucking cold sore.
He is. He's in a blue shirt though, so he's like on the field reliving the glory days. He was running around with the water bottles yesterday. I think Tigers are going to improve. I genuinely think, looking at everything over the off-season, the only team that we can guarantee getting worse. When I say better, I mean like they're going to win more games. They're still probably going to be bottom 8.
Oh, yeah.
The only team I can guarantee getting worse is St. George.
Unfortunately.
It's not looking great for us.
The one thing, though, that media hasn't spoken about yet, you haven't spoken about, and Josh, I'm disappointed you haven't spoken about, is we have something that no other team has, which is Benny Hunt.
We do have Benny fucking
Yeah,
Hunt.
but Ben Hunt's heroics is going to only get you so far.
It got us real far for quite a while.
And what is he? He's like 45? We've got a couple more years of this bad boy.
We are not the St. George Illawarra Dragons. We are the Benny Hunt Dragons.
And the worst part is, when he's old and washed up,
he'll still be playing for the Dragons.
We'll re-sign him.
He's got quite a lengthy career at Dragons level. At least another 10 years.
Minimum.
Yep. We can always bring Duff back.
Please.
We need players.
Wait, actually, I just want to say, and I don't mean to call him out like this, but can we just talk about how lucky Tyrell Sloan is? This man has been repeatedly kicked off the fullback position for his ineptitude on the field. And then what happened? He got put on the field once we lost, what's his name?
Sloan.
Yeah. Who did Sloan replace?
First? Ramsey.
No, not Ramsey. Before Ramsey.
Dufty.
Yeah. He replaced a Dufty. Came on, shat the bed so hard. Ramsey came on, golden child. Beautiful. Lost him for a bit. Sloan came back. Once
shit
again,
the bed.
Shit the bed. And then I thought, all right, this is it for a couple of years. And then we hear the shit with Ramsey, no pun intended. And now, fucking Sloan's back as our starting fullback.
Sloan's back.
Mbai's
probably going to be in the halves. Jack Bird's injured as well.
Isn't Mbai going to have to be a hooker for a little bit?
No, we've got Little. Little's hooker.
Like to teach Little.
No, Little's a hooker by trade.
Oh.
Little's
been a hooker at the
Tigers.
Tigers.
Workings at the Dragons at least.
They don't work. That's easy.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, don't worry about what workings. Fucking Hook isn't even awake for half the games, and he thinks it's fucking 1996 the whole time.
Yeah.
We just got to get the big players, and we just got to smash them.
I swear to God, he has like, the way he hires players is he has like an 06 trading card thing from the Sydney Morning Herald, and he just picks cards out of that and goes, get me them. Because that's how we got Aaron Woods.
Now, I do have to ask the real question, not to deviate a little bit, but professional sleepers.
Professional sleepers.
Who are we going for? Are we going for Hook or are we going for Roach for most match naps?
Blocker.
There we go. Blocker's
he had
in.
the moment of the year last year in the commentary box.
Oh, the good old-fashioned
Please just
stiffy.
tell me any of them.
The good old-fashioned stiffy. He fell asleep for fucking 60 minutes in the Rabbitohs-Panthers final. Someone coat-hanged someone else. He woke up, said, that's a good old-fashioned stiffy. Ruined Ennis for the rest of the match. Ennis didn't say another word. He was laughing the whole time. And it was Warren Smith trying to commentate over those two laughing.
I think it was Vossi trying to, like...
Nah, if it's Vossi, he would have said something racist to back him up.
Nah, Blocker's the best.
Blocker is... I was so footy starved. I'm not the same person without the NRL. As much as I like shitting on it, it is awesome. I watched some of the Super League finals, and I watched all of the World Cup because I needed an itch to scratch. And I tell you what...
Did you watch anything from the Cass Tigers?
No, I didn't. I love the Cass Tigers. They're shit house anyway.
Best prop in the world.
Best team in the world.
That's the Dragons.
Blocker Roach and Mick Ennis are the two best sports commentators in Australia because they suck at their job, but at least they're funny.
That's all you got to be.
They are very funny.
And there's that sense as well where they're not trying to be funny. They're just trying to do what they're doing and be normal guys. But I've never seen someone shit the bed so hard than watching Blocker tell me plays straight from it. Oh, man, you should have passed that. Fucking thanks, Blocker.
He goes, they've called that pass forward because he threw it forward. And you go, thanks, Block. Go back to sleep.
They just got to dig in and they just got to start tackling and scoring tries. Then they will win the game.
When do we
Football's
get
a passing game.
When do we get Blocker on the podcast?
I mean, we could tweet him, but I don't think he knows how to use it.
He might be asleep.
He's probably having a nap.
He's in summer hibernation.
He's
waiting
gonna
for the
miss
winter.
notification because he's too busy sleeping it off.
I do have a question. Who do you think's going to do well in the NRL this year? Because we've spoken about the three teams we think are going to do the worst.
Okay,
Don't say the Roosters.
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to start with the Roosters.
I'm also going to say the Roosters.
Yeah, they got Brandon Smith. That's their big signing,
I think
right?
that signing is going to do a world of good.
I reckon.
So if Smith can get his body right, so you got to think Smith at the Storm, he was swapping between lock and hooker. So in lock, you need to be a bigger, stockier body, and in hooker, you need to be leaner, agile, and everything. He can just slim down to that agile role. All of a sudden, we got a really dominant hooker who can scoot out a dummy half, get 20, 30 meters. Teddy comes in, scoots out, gets another 20, 30 meters. We're already in the attacking half by the third tackle.
Plus, then you've also got extra ball plays like Radley out the front.
Yeah, but Radley will be suspended for 3/4 of the year, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Like, I love Radley, but fucking hell, man.
Let's not forget probably one of the bigger picks that you guys have taken this year. Brandon Smith.
We were just talking
That's
about...
what we were talking about the whole time.
That was the whole time we were talking about.
The photo that Brandon Smith in the Roosters jersey, he looked like he'd slimmed down a fair bit.
Yeah,
and when
definitely.
I say slimmed down, like clearly lost no muscle, just dropped some fat.
Drop some fat. And the other thing that the Roosters have done this year too is they got Minicello in to get everyone
On coke.
On a proper diet.
Can I join the Roosters?
Well,
We're
everyone.
all fucking doing coke. Let's go.
No, Minicello's come in and he's actually gotten their nutrition right. Brandon Smith's come out and said, yeah, it's been really difficult. I didn't realize how much crap I used to eat until I sat down with Minnie.
Bro, he used to sit in the dressing room at halftime smashing a pizza.
Of course.
Like, there's footage of him doing that. Like, what do you mean you didn't realize, bro? Look around. Everyone's having Gatorade and fucking Nutri-Grain bars, and you're smashing a Domino's.
Hold on. He learnt from the best here. Laurie taught him everything he knows.
It's true.
There's a reason you don't get chicken wings at Sneaky Burger.
But the good thing, we're not going to
Wollongong.
win a game this year, so there'll be heaps of fucking chicken wings.
I'm telling you, paid sponsorships coming this year. Dragons.
That's half
v
his
Sneaky.
fucking contract.
It was funny, though, because Sneaky Burger did sponsor a St. George player, which was Josh Kerr.
It's got to be Blake Woollary this year.
It has to be.
It just has to be for the meme. Other contenders, though, I think Penrith will be up there again, unfortunately, much to my dismay because I don't like the Penrith unit anymore.
It's true. However, if there is a year you can beat Penrith, it is this year. They have
They did
lost
lose.
people.
Like they lost Coruscant, Staines, Katoa, Jennings, O'Sullivan, Hopgood, Cacao, Crichton, Kurt Falls.
No, Crichton goes next year.
Uh,
Crichton's next year.
Christian
He played-
Crichton.
Oh, no, Stephen Crichton. I thought you were talking about Stephen
No,
Crichton.
Christian Crichton.
I didn't even know he was on the team.
Oh, he's been released.
Rip.
He's no longer on the team, so you don't have to worry about it.
But it has been a year of losses for them.
And
I mean,
they're
they've still got.
They're going to go through this transitional phase. It's what happens when you win back-to-back premierships. You have all of a sudden all these players are demanding more money. You can't fit them under the salary cap unless you're the Sydney Roosters.
And even you guys still lost a couple.
Yeah, but like, I mean, the Morris twins, they retired. Boyd Cordner, he retired. Jake Friend, he retired. Who else? Krupa Kronk, he retired.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? There's always that clear out. So if there is a year another team can come in and beat them, it is this year.
And there's one team I think that could potentially beat them.
Dolphins.
No,
Dolphins.
Dolphins are going to be like bottom 8. I think the Bulldogs will be.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the Bulldogs are on for it this year.
Bulldogs, I know they were supposed to be it last year, but the team just didn't have the momentum. They had all the controversy.
The only thing they're missing is a solid half. They've got Matt Burton, who will...
They call Big Boot Burton.
Yeah, they got Burton, but I don't know if Kyle Flanagan's the answer there, or what's the other one, Jake Avarillo?
Yes, and they...
But they bought well. They've got Kickow. They've got...
Addo Carr. He came in last year.
Stephen Crichton's coming next year. They've got people coming in that are going to fill roles.
Yeah,
And new coach. Is it Mick Potter?
No, it's Cameron Serraldo's there.
Serraldo. So Serraldo's got really good recommendations.
Well, he was the Penrith assistant coach for the past 3 years.
Yep. Weirdly enough, I think Sharks are going to be better this year than they were last year.
I think so too, unfortunately.
They've got. I mean, I don't like the Sharks. Most of the country hates the Sharks. I do have a massive soft spot for Nico Hines, and I want him to do well.
Yeah, okay. So the best way for him to do well is to sign a contract with the team in the eastern suburbs.
All you have to do is get him that lucrative deal.
Exactly.
I mean, you guys would essentially be unbeatable if you got rid of the kid, whatever his name is. Sam Walker, and put Nico Hines in that squad.
I understand that. I think they're putting a lot onto Sam Walker, which is... I think he's 3 years out from being medically retired.
He's got really hurt, the poor kid.
The shoulders. He's playing in half. He needs his shoulders, and they've destroyed his shoulders the past 2 years.
Yep.
You guys are always plagued by injuries. I'm surprised it's not going to happen. Like, no offense, but we can almost take a bet right now. What week are we thinking Roosters going to get their first injury?
Oh, round one.
Yeah, round one. The preseason. When is their first preseason game?
Sunday.
Tonight.
Sunday.
Sunday, yeah, Sunday.
We play the Storm on Sunday.
Hey, man. At least you're not playing the Super League winners.
Oh, that's so funny that you guys decided that's a good idea.
Why would they give Dragons St. Helens?
I'll tell you exactly why. Because you guys are too intelligent for this sport. I am a professional idiot. Because they read St. George and they said St. Helens and they went, that looks good. Put that together. That's exactly how the conversation went.
You know what the worst part is? I literally read an article today and the title was Battle of the Saints.
That Owen joke's going to be getting some distance in that sport.
Who's Owen?
Oh, no, that's not happening on this show.
We'll save it for when we win. Next year.
Next year.
Next year. It'll be premiere of season 2.
It's not happening.
I'm just going to put my money out on Titans.
You think the Titans
top 8 this year?
You really think
I think so.
Oh, I think they're bottom 8.
Fair? But
I think Justin Holbrook and who's the prick at Newcastle?
Oh, Adam O'Brien.
That guy, they're the two on the... as well as Hook, they're the 3 on the chopping block.
Weirdly enough, though, Hook seems to be incredibly safe in his position. Like, Adam O'Brien we've watched him just like mentally deteriorate over the last 2 years.
I think he has something on Newcastle. He has to have something on someone at Newcastle because I would have sacked him last year.
Him and Ponga.
Yeah.
Who's now a half.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, that worked so well last time. Yeah, he's playing 6 this year.
They put him in 6. Who'd they bring over for their
Lockie
fullback?
Miller from the Sharks.
That's what happened there. So, look, Knights, I don't see anything getting better. Kalen Ponga is a devastating fullback.
Go, Kalen!
For Queensland. He needs to be in a team that can play him. It's the same as
Dane Gagai.
No, he's at
the Knights.
Yeah, he's the centre, isn't he?
Yeah, and he has 2 modes. He has Queensland and shit.
Yeah. Or the same as, is it Andrew Fafita, who's now at the Titans?
Fafita's not... I thought he retired.
No, yeah.
David did. The younger Fafita. David.
Retired.
David Fafita's playing for the Titans.
David Fafita's Titans and
Sweet.
Andrew Fafita.
David's who I'm talking about.
Yeah, David's been at the Titans for a while now, dipshit.
Is that I always get them confused. But
They're
I know
not
it's a
even
Fafita.
related.
Surely not. Somewhere.
No, but Andrew has a twin brother named David.
I told you there was 2 Davids. We had this argument last year sometime.
Yeah, no, he has a twin brother named David Fafita who's playing for the Entrance Tigers in the Newcastle Rugby League this year.
I am talking about...
How many Fafitas are there in NRL?
The David Fafita at the Titans isn't even related to them.
I'm talking
Are
about...
any of them related?
No, David so David at the Entrance and Andrew were.
You just said Dave. I'm joking.
Yeah, I know.
The one at the Titans is one of the most devastating forwards in the game.
On his day.
Yeah, when he decides to.
When he's got room to run. Where the Titans go wrong is they just throw it to him when he's standing flat on the line. Like, I'm saying it's the same as Ponga. I don't think moving his position is going to genuinely make the team better. I don't think the team's are quality enough to get anything out of him. He's also a shit captain.
Wrong.
Oh.
No, I think you're wrong there. I think if Ponga can get room, which they will have, because they did sign a half this year. They got Jackson Hastings coming in, who was the half at the Tigers last year in 4 of their 4 wins.
And also an incredibly exciting person to watch on the field.
Exactly.
I do like Jackson Hastings.
Him playing at 7 at the Knights, and if the Knights can get some room for Ponga to do Ponga things, I think there's a good chance they're 6, 7.
Yeah, you let him into the more playmaker decision role. Like, I know he...
And moving him into 6 as well.
Because
second ball receiver.
And it did work with him out of the fullback, and he did have a wide view of the game. But now that he's actually a bit more in the action, he can kind of direct the ball where he prefers it to go, rather than just commanding the back line.
Why am I sat in a room of people who are wrong, and I'm the only correct one again? Knights, 15th.
No,
done.
I don't think that
15th.
The only way the Knights get 15th this year is if they have a rotten injury toll.
Knights 15th. Eddie's just
Ponga comes out, gets cleaned up first preseason game. He's out.
I don't even think Ponga's playing in the preseason.
No, most of the good players aren't playing.
No, I think he's injured genuinely.
Oh, right. Hey, speaking of NRL news, here's something that we haven't brought up or even discussed in our group chat. Fighting Whiten and Latrell Mitchell.
Latrell,
Mate, they were just having a little bit of a wrestle.
Did you see what Latrell came out with today? He's like, I'm not changing for anybody. I think it was an overreaction by the police. It's like, you were fighting in public, bro. Like, they have to step in.
They do.
To be fair, like you heard some of the witness accounts, though. It's not what the story of the police are spinning.
I don't think there was anything in it. I think they were just
fucking around.
Yeah, of course I agree with them. Like, I'm not going on the line that they did anything wrong.
Put yourself in the position of those cops, eh?
But no, it was... I mean, like, Whiten has a bad history of this.
Yeah, he
It's
literally
not his
had
first
it
time.
written into his contract in Canberra that he was not allowed in the CBD because he kept fighting.
Was it in the CBD? Because it was in Canberra.
Yeah, he wasn't allowed in the Civic.
Right. Where did this one happen?
I think that contract's long past.
Right,
Like it was
okay,
in the
cool.
CBD.
Right.
It wouldn't have shocked me if it's outside Mooseheads.
Let's find out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's outside Mooseheads. Ooh.
I just want to say this lovely little paragraph. I haven't found out exactly where yet, but I just want to say the good friends had been out celebrating Whiten's 30th birthday before the night took a messy turn in Canberra CBD.
Thought so.
Well, there's nowhere else to go in Canberra.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
From the Rugby Leagues Players Association, there's been great progress made with the women's CBA in negotiating meetings this week. For this reason, we have put on hold our action we were going to put in play tonight, which was the taping over the NRL logos, forcing kickoff times and stuff.
Yes.
So this is the reason why that is not going ahead now. We were going to speak about it. They still require formal commitments from the NRL that the genuine progress was made in key areas, and with the priority being the women's CBA.
Yep.
The game is for the fans, players, and etc. If the progress is walked back on, then the players will have no choice but to press forward with their industry action.
Because Abdo and Clinton Newton had met late last night, and they actually saw it as signs of progress. So it was actually coming through. I mean, mind you, in saying that, you know what they're dangling all over the players' heads with these trials this weekend, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
100K, isn't it?
100K purse. Wouldn't that be nice in the little back pocket? You have that. Maybe you can solidify another player for a couple of years.
Isn't that two? Isn't it this weekend and next weekend? Because it's two rounds of the preseason.
I'm not sure. I know there's one. I don't know if it's over both weekends or if it's 100K purse per weekend.
Yeah, but 100K in the NRL these days is chump change. It's like a minimum player, and it's not guaranteed to go onto your salary cap.
It's true, but it is enough to offset costs to give that one player who's thinking of leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Say if you're Roosters or Melbourne.
Once again,
or Penrith.
it doesn't take an extra 100K to your salary cap. It's just an extra 100K to the cost of the
Yeah,
club.
but they'll cheat like they always do. Like,
However, I just want to say, when Dragons win it, it's all gone to Benny Hunt. Let me
Ben
tell
Hunt
you,
deserves it.
100K straight in his back pocket.
He'll
That's
play
the only place.
0 minutes and he'll earn all of it.
And he still would have won the game for us.
No
too.
one
then-
cuts
and-
oranges better than Ben Hunt.
And then when the audit comes out and they're like, the Dragons cheated, paying Benny Hunt this extra 100K, we're going to strip them of all their points. Oh, wait, they had none.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, what are they going to do to us?
Hey, let's be honest. If they're investigating Dragons, Roosters are coming down straight down with us.
Are they, though?
Yeah,
Yes.
you and Melbourne.
Uncle Nick's a billionaire.
It's why.
That's why we've never been caught.
I hope, genuinely hope that when he is no longer the owner of the Roosters, he does like the I did it book and tells everyone how he did it.
I don't want that. You know what I really want to happen? I want him to retire from the Roosters. They continue to prosper, and everyone's just like, oh, it wasn't Uncle Nick. They're just really good at book managing.
Yeah, but everyone knows that's not the truth already. So that's just...
Yeah, but they've got two sets of books.
It's
They got the NRL books, which they submit, which is 100% under the cap. But under the second books, they got 600 million to spend.
Look, if the Roosters aren't cheating, Fletcher and Hindy don't have a career because it's what every skid is about.
I don't think
No,
we
they've
have a
got-
career either.
No, they have a career because they've got Hindy who never won a ring.
It's true.
That's their fallback joke. No matter how bad the segment's going, just rip on Hindy for never winning.
Speaking of Hindy, thoughts on Parramatta this year?
Bottom 8.
Oof.
Josh Hodgson, replacing Reed Marnie was the other one that went to the Doggies.
That's right. Yeah, there you are. He's huge, dude.
Yeah, he's huge for the
brilliant
Doggies.
hooker
And Parramatta's replacing him with Josh Hodgson
who hasn't played in 2 years because he's done an ACL.
and both knees.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's fresh.
Parramatta bottom 8.
Oh, speaking of injuries and things we have to talk about, in a little bit more of a serious note, Tommy Turbo's out again.
What's happened?
Didn't he just get back from getting his hammy done?
He did. He walked on the field. He left training early. This is a couple of weeks ago. They've sent him to the US, I believe.
No,
He returned from the US.
No, he's just returned from the
Yeah,
US.
he
about
literally
that.
just returned. And I
Like
think they
this
said he
week.
was fighting ready.
Right, so it's all good then. Don't worry about it.
Unfortunately, Manly once again will do something this year.
I was
and
going to say,
just
don't.
wanna
Give it a
watch
week. He'll be hurt.
Don't worry, he'll do a stupid run and he'll tear his hamstring again.
All I can say is it'd just be so nice to watch Manly flounder worse than us.
Oh.
If there's one team,
Make him
worse
wear a
than
rainbow
Souths.
jersey again. Nothing fucked them harder than a bit of rainbow.
Actually, so this came out today too. Mardi Gras has now excluded the NRL from participating because of the Manly Pride round jersey fiasco.
No. Shit. So, hold on. There's got to be a little bit more information than that. Does that mean they can't have a float?
Yeah, but the decision to bar the NRL is believed as a direct consequence from the massive controversy caused by Manly's decision on the Pride jumper last year. They have been excluded from this year's gay and lesbian Mardi Gras parade, so they're not allowed to float this year.
Still on for the bisexual one, though, yeah?
I mean, you've seen the footy players the way they act on the field.
100%. No, but seriously, yeah, fair. I get it. But I reckon we force Manly to wear a rainbow every week. They'll come last.
Oh, fuck, that'd be great.
Did NRL have a float in
Yes,
the Mardi?
They've had a float for the past few years, actually. Because they are... The NRL itself is very inclusive. They do support
I
those
get
rights.
that. It just
But the Manly thing has just come back to bite them right in the ass,
It
which is
just-
so funny.
sounds so weird. Like, out of everything that can kind of represent, like, the LGBT community, it's like,
Big buff men wearing tight shorts. Yeah, no, that doesn't sound like the LGBT.
You know what? I retract
It's a
my
valid
entire
point.
comment.
Speaking of big buff men wearing tight shorts, Volk's fighting this weekend.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We've got to talk a little bit about that.
we going to the pub to watch it or what?
I think so.
I can't.
I think we should.
I'm in Sydney. There's a Shield game starting tomorrow. I'm on deck
Oh,
for both
no.
of the first 2 days, which means I missed the Volk fight.
It's all right. We'll live tweet you what's going on.
Please
Yeah.
do. At Bums on the Bench.
By the way,
Um,
guys, we're just bums on the bench if you didn't hear that.
Yeah, true. We said it right at the beginning. I like Alexander Volkanovski.
Who doesn't? You have a good story about Volk.
Oh, I did. I accidentally I'd said some not nice things to him because I knocked over some small person in the pub one time and it was him. By accident. And I don't think I've ever said sorry and so more in my life. I walked around the corner and he came around the corner and I was watching the TV and I'm 6'1" and he's not. He's not
How
close.
tall is Volk?
Like
Not
5'5", 5'7". He's small dude.
Oh, no wonder you didn't see him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
a
at your knees.
He's a featherweight.
He's like here? On
Yeah.
there? But you wouldn't say him.
No, he's small. He's under our head.
Do you reckon his friends are like ever game enough to like kind of rest their arm on his shoulder?
They're
Not
all
anymore.
from Warilla.
So yes.
Yes.
I'd say not anymore because, I mean, before this he played
He played for the Warilla Gorillas,
Yeah.
the greatest name in rugby league history.
one of the best.
Dirtiest players in league history too, mind you.
Filthiest mullets as well.
Yeah. Warilla represents the best and worst of the country at the same time. Shows what we're possible of and also what's holding us back.
I've got so many stories about the Warilla Gorillas I can't talk about.
So are they like the pinnacle and definition of evolution occurring within players?
It's like if you took all of motorsport's energy and put it into a man. And
No,
the
if
smell.
If you put NASCAR and V8s, all that energy, and put that into a man, and the smell into a man, that is
And the brain of a NASCAR driver too.
That's what's implied with the energy.
Yeah, the energy. They don't have
They-
brains. It's just a vibe.
Yeah.
Over the summer, there was that mad NASCAR dude who just wall rid and got himself qualified.
Yeah, that was cool until fucking the FIA decided, yeah, that's banned.
It shouldn't be.
That was fucking sick.
Brilliant. But Volkanovski is fighting upper weight division
Yep.
for the belt. So he's gone from feather to lightweight, I think.
Yeah, I
is the
believe
jump,
so.
against Islam Makhachev.
Yes.
No one in the featherweight division can come close to Volkanovski. If Volkanovski was fighting Oliveira from a couple of months ago, I would have said, done deal, it's Volks.
Hmm.
I still think Volkanovski can beat Makachev, but Makachev is scary.
Isn't Makachev, I can't pronounce his name, but
Nurmagomedov's
that
protege,
guy, yeah.
one of them. Yep. So him and Kamaev are his like two underlings.
Khabib.
Yep. Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Yeah.
Nailed it. I still think Volk's going to come out on top.
I think it might go to round 4, round 5.
But if Kamaev gets him on the ground and gets dominant position, very hard to come back from. And we saw Volkanovski get put against Ortega in a triangle choke and come out of that fine.
Mm.
But Kamaev, again, naturally at this weight, Volk's bulked up for it, so he's going to be feeling good. He's not cutting for this fight. I hope he gets it. I think he's fantastic. I really, really want to see an Australian double champ. Because Bam Bam's not doing shit.
What's the reach difference between them?
It's a couple inches, but I don't know the exact. Is there Makachev's long? Like he's...
Yeah, it's going to be hard, keeping him at a little bit of distance is really going to take away a lot of his momentum if you can't close in the gap.
It is true, but Volkanovski is a really, really good sniper with his strikes. He rarely misses. So every time Makachev comes in or lower or does a level change towards him, Volk's got knees, elbows. He's not a brilliant kicker, but he doesn't have to be. He's brutal with his hands and his knees.
I got the tail of the tape here.
What do we got? What's the reach difference?
The reach difference is Makachev's got 179.1, Volkanovski 181.6.
Wait, he's got the longer reach?
He's got the reach.
That surprises me because
way.
he's so small.
He's going to take such advantage of that too. He can actually start getting in.
Makachev
and
has
smack him.
10 centimeters on him too because he's 1.78 and
Dude, you
Volk's
can just
168.
focus on body shots to take him down so easily.
Just punch. It's going to be brilliant. I think it's shaping up to be the best fight of the last 6 months.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it on replay.
Does anyone else have any sports stories they want to talk about?
Well, do you want to go back to that NASCAR wall, right? Because Josh looked confused when you brought it up.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
nothing
Andy,
on NASCAR,
explain
so you got me
NASCAR.
covered.
So you know how it's an oval track, right? So what he's done is he needs to finish second to qualify for the championship round. So what he's done is on the last lap, he has just put his foot to the floor, yeeted it into the wall, and wall-ridden around the track and got to second.
So scraped around the edge of the other drivers.
Scraped around the full edge of the track on the wall.
Shit, man.
It's game shit. Everyone was like, you do this in a video game.
And of course, Freebird was instantly put over the top of it.
Yeah.
The solo from Freebird.
Yeah, and fucking every driver that's seen it was just like, this is the shit. This is awesome. So, of course, all the rule makers like, this is banned now.
Yep.
Way to bring back excitement just to ruin it once again.
Yeah, I know, right?
Think of the strategies and the stuff that they would have had going on to make that incredibly more dangerous, and they've just ruined it for everyone.
I know.
NASCAR is
The greatest bogan sport ever.
it's up there. It is up there.
So good.
Speaking of other bogan sports,
Oh, yeah?
supercars.
That's back in a couple of weeks, isn't it?
It is. We just had the Bathurst 12 hour. Nothing to do with supercars, but it was about Bathurst. One of our friends who's an electrician was up there running the electricals for it. I didn't watch it.
Neither did I.
Supercars itself, it's 12 hours, man. Come on. And nothing, like, whatever. Supercars Gen 3's launched this year. So it is now the Chevrolets versus the Ford Mustangs.
Yeah, it's the death of the Holden.
Holden's gone. Holden has been gone for a long time. Those chassis were all, 5-6 years old?
2 or 3 years old.
Yeah. So I'm excited for it. Both cars look sick. I like muscle cars.
You know how you fix it? You take that Chevy badge, put it in the bin, stick a fucking Holden line
I think
on
there's nothing wrong with that.
That's what they should do. They should just be like, nah.
Same company anyway. They all
Holdens.
just work for General Motors.
It
as
is. No, it is. And that's what a lot of the, I guess, the sort of discussions around being like, you still own the brand even though it doesn't exist. Just let it be that.
Just
But
let them slap the Holden badge on it and be like, bam, it's a Holden Camaro.
We see our Como cop cars out in San Francisco. Have you guys seen the photo of that? It was the Thought Police car. And they had it with like the full Australian police like insignia and stuff like that. And it was just a fucking Chevy.
yeah, we should definitely do that. I'm still stoked for the sport this year. I think it's going to be great. It's finally parity. They've adjusted the chassis of the Mustang, so it's now the 2-door design.
Yeah.
So it will actually look better.
And the Camaro is a 2-door design, isn't it?
Yeah, by nature.
Yeah, so literally take the Chevy badge off, just slap a Holden on it, same company, still going to make the same money. Everyone's going to still buy that Camaro. It's just going to have a Chevy badge on
And
it.
I mean, it's the way Australians are. We don't give a shit about Chevy versus Ford. We want Holden versus Ford.
Yeah.
I agree. 100% I agree. I was only bringing up the fact that there's new body types this year. That's it. That's the only
And
positive
now
thing
you've
about
made
it.
us mad.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jack.
You don't even like cars, bro.
Yeah,
Why
but
are you
I'm
angry?
Passionate about most things.
It's true. We brought Josh on specifically because we're like, we need someone who has an opinion on everything. We're like, oh, well, Josh, obviously.
Yeah.
The Ocho, man, that was sick. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I'm going to watch the Ocho again. Let's talk about the Ocho then.
Because
Yeah.
they got things like fucking hot dog eating and marble racing, don't they?
They got everything.
they had bed racing.
End of
Yeah.
last year, we all watched the Ocho, which is an American multi-sport event, which is like the Olympics for what I want to say is fat Americans.
I always thought it was just a joke because of dodgeball, because they had ESPN the Ocho, and that's where the dodgeball championships were on.
I think it is.
So, and then during COVID, they brought in ESPN the Ocho, which was just dumb shit like hot dog eating and
Corgi racing.
Wait,
Corgi.
hold on. You guys have missed the best one.
Which one?
Excel All-Stars. Where they had to create a poker machine, make it work with different winning combinations and figure it out.
Oh, damn! That
Have
sounds
you
awesome.
ever seen some of these people work Excel? It's like watching magic, man. I don't get at least all of it.
Is this part of the Ocho or something
This
else?
is a part of the Ocho.
So they're doing what?
So they make a poker machine like in the cells using Excel and actually make it run using macros.
That's fantastic. I went to some different categories in that sport. I took a particularly like to the National Air Guitar Championship.
Oh, that would have been sick.
It was. They
It was
really
brilliant.
got into it.
It was brilliant. Everybody looked like what you'd think an impersonator for some like washed up 80s pop and rock star is. Fantastic
Got into
though.
it so much too. Man, like I don't have that level of confidence.
And like if I lost that, I would clearly blame the instrument. There's no way I'm taking any
Oh, no.
responsibility for a loss in that sport. Axe throwing and knife throwing were
Dude.
weirdly intense.
They were so good. The crowd was into the axe throwing like nothing else.
Dude, you can do axe throwing in town.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't trust myself with an axe.
That's fair.
I'm definitely going to hit the back of my head like I've done before while
Yeah.
swinging an axe.
100%.
It hurts.
Corgi racing was brilliant. That's an all-time standout event.
It's just so gosh darn adorable.
And then there was this weird one where you'd bounce a ball off a trampoline, you had to catch it or something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That sucked, whatever
the
that
beach
was.
sport one that like you see all the hipsters do down fucking
Yeah,
near us.
it's like hacky sack to frisbee. What ultimate frisbee is to frisbee. It was like the activity was fine. We've added a
Was it
trampoline
a
somewhere.
mega
in it.
ball? Was that the one or was that a different one?
I don't know. Soccer in the balloon balls would be funny.
Maybe that looks like fun. You know they had one of those around here and like it recently closed down unfortunately. It looked like such a wild time. I couldn't imagine just doing like inflatable soccer while running into people and tripping them over.
It's the only way I think you could get me to play soccer is like, oh, you're allowed to hit people in this one.
That's fair.
Spike ball. That's what it's called.
Spike ball.
Yep.
That sucked. Whatever that was. I didn't watch much of that one.
We missed cliff diving. I
That
didn't even
sounds
know
fun.
that was on. That sounds sick.
That sounds fun.
I've done
Actually-
cliff diving once before in my life, and it was up in the Central Coast somewhere, and it was a very interesting experience because you walk out along like the sea shelf and up these cliffs and things, and as you're walking out are all the memorial plaques for people who are dead from doing it.
Oh, that must really give you the
It's
confidence.
really weird because you're walking out seeing all these things, and then you just have one mate who's like, "Don't worry, bro, I do it all the time. I used to do it with him. I used to do it with him," and you're like, "I don't feel great about this." So I did it. Terrifying. Wouldn't do it again.
Fair enough.
It looks like a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
It's awesome. Like, it's very exhilarating. But it's also like, once you get in there, you're just in the water next to a cliff. Like, it's not easy to get back out.
How did you get out?
This
Helicopter.
is why. No. This is why a lot of the people have died doing it. Because at this area we were, you had to wait for the swell to boost you up, and you kind of had to get back up onto a lower part of the cliff. But it was very jagged. So, like, if you mistimed the swell you were going with, you just get smashed against the rocks and fall back in the water.
That just does not sound fun.
Hence all the plaques. So that's how we got out. I think normally they have a helicopter to do it safely.
Oh, there you go.
But no, in the version we did as dumb shit uni students at the beach was, well, wait for the big wave and hopefully land on the safe bit of the rock and don't smash yourself to pieces.
Dude, I'm having a look at like the list of some of these still, by the way. I think I have to go back and watch this again. There are some that look so entertaining. I can't believe I missed. Like a Pogo Palooza.
I'm done. Sold.
And it's a cup. They actually compete against each other in some sort of I hope they do tricks. That'd be so cool.
It's got to be tricks or like shooting dunks. It is the only two things you can do on a pogo stick.
You can race, I guess.
Oh. The Ocho just reminds me of MXC, that Japanese show.
Oh, fucking
Takeshi's
hell.
Castle.
Hell yeah, man.
That is sport.
That
is
water was some of the most disgusting fucking water I've ever seen in my life.
It was
though.
just, and
It
if
was
anyone doesn't
brown.
know what MXC or Takeshi's Castle is, imagine Wipeout, but heaps more dangerous than Japanese. So it's just off its chops. They're like, people would fall over, they get hit with a fire extinguisher, not the canister bit, the actual expellant. You had people strapped into like this fake horse thing with its legs as a wheel, and you'd have to run over an obstacle course.
Don't forget about the one where you're like 10 feet in the air on a surfboard having to jump over obstacles while the surfboard is still moving. Otherwise,
Correct.
you'll just fall into the water.
Didn't
There
they
was
have
the
like
one-
an Indiana Jones one too, where there's like
Yeah,
a
the
boulder.
boulders, and you'd run up to the castle,
Yeah.
and you'd have to hide in little subsections. Otherwise, you're going to get mowed over by a
But there
giant
was-
boulder.
Always a person in the alcoves who would push them out back in front of the boulders. Like, you
Yeah.
couldn't hide safely. You had to get into the alcove and punch on with a staff member to not get run over by a boulder. Not a real boulder, but it's still big. Like, that shit ain't light.
I wish that game was still on. I'd so go on that game show.
Oh,
Well,
100%.
I wish I was on. I'd do it while I'm in Japan this year.
I'm so jealous, man.
It's phenomenal. MXC is one of the best sporting events of all time. Especially because they got dumb shit Americans to just redub it
Oh,
and
of
said
course.
whatever they wanted.
What was his name? Kenny Blankenship?
Kenny Blankenshaw,
You sure?
Ken Watanabe. No, that's an actor, isn't it?
Yeah, that's an actor.
And then there was Guy Ledouche, who was the infield reporter dressed in a safari outfit. I remember Guy Ledouche.
I thought you mistaken Shia LaBeouf there.
No,
And it
no,
was-
Guy.
Kenny Blankenship.
Damn it.
Your memory's not that great, Jack.
I don't have one.
That doesn't shock me.
I just make shit up and it's fun for me.
Well, I mean, that's the premise of the other show.
Oh, Vic Romano. That was it. That was along with Kenny Blankenship.
Please tell me Guy Ledouche is in there.
There's Captain Tennille and Guy Ledouche.
Yes.
You got one.
One's good. You got none.
Yeah, I don't remember watching it.
I used to watch it on, it was an MTV show, wasn't it?
Fox 8.
Fox 8? Fox 8 or
I
something.
thought it was MTV.
I have
It
MTV.
definitely was on Fox 8.
Google that. I might be
Yeah,
right
yeah,
about
yeah.
something.
All right, I got you.
And then we're going to wrap up because now we're just fucking droning on about shit.
Yeah.
I might have to come back to you on this one. I'm going to keep looking it up.
That means I'm right. He doesn't want to admit it.
No, I just can't find it.
We forgot one.
What do we forget?
The Superb Owls on Monday.
Oh, the Super Bowl.
Who
My
you got-
team's in it.
Yeah, Philly v fucking Chiefs. And I want Philly to win it.
I want Philly to win because there's only one thing scarier than a Philadelphia sports team losing, and that's if they win.
Man, so Philadelphia the police have gone and greased up all the poles in preparation for the riots.
They did it last time and it didn't stop them. Like,
I
people
know.
still managed to climb them and flip cars.
If you're in the city of Philadelphia, the best thing you could do is set up a webcam. Set up a webcam, stream that shit after the game, because no matter what, you're going to get views.
Oh, don't worry. There'll just be news choppers waiting for them. 100%.
Yeah, but imagine streaming that on Twitch.
Who do you think will win the Super Bowl?
I want it to be the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm scared it's going to be the Chiefs. I don't want the Chiefs to win.
Yeah, I
I
want
don't
Philly to
like
win.
them.
I'd actually like to counterpoint here. Fuck Philly. Because my housemate goes for him, and it'd be really funny to watch him get overly upset about it because they are his life.
Here's something I can actually talk about that I know something about. Did you know Philadelphia sports fans are the only sports fans in the world to throw batteries at Santa?
Where did they get the batteries
They
from?
bring them with them to the games to throw at players when they're not. I think it was the late 90s. It was a snowing game, and it might have even been baseball or NFL. It was one of the two.
Is it baseball because that's how they developed the underground tunnel that
Maybe.
went to the
yeah,
hotel?
yeah, pretty much.
That was just the Sonny's episode, by the way.
Oh, true. I haven't seen that one. I've seen a bit of Sunny.
I've just started watching this. So fucking
Dude,
good.
it's so good. You gotta watch it.
However, the game started to get snowed out, and the fans were getting really, really like riotous in the stands, and they were like, "Oh, it's nearly Christmas. Let's bring Santa out in like a truck and drive him slowly around the outfield. And they did, and he got hammered with beer, hot dogs, and batteries.
That's hilarious.
And the driver, being in the cab, didn't know, so he kept going slowly. Santa got annihilated. So I love Philly sports fans.
I mean, they are some of those rambunctious, rowdy motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. Doesn't matter win or lose, they're rioting.
Well, no, the whole reason they're sorting the city out now is in case they win. Like, if they lose, they'll all just go home. If they win, they'll destroy the city.
If they lose, they'll destroy the city. If they win, they'll destroy the city, and then they'll destroy it again.
Is that why they, like, was Philadelphia the first one where they had to oil up the light posts because fans just kept climbing?
No, I think that was Cleveland when Cleveland won the NBA.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
Because Cleveland have a wretched run with sports teams, and LeBron brought them the championship, so Cleveland went chaotic.
Well,
Cleveland's river also caught on fire 6 times.
Yep.
They're the reason the EPA exists in the US. Their river caught on fire.
How?
It's also where 10-cent beer night happened in baseball history, which is one of the best games of baseball of all time.
But it's just still not that great because baseball's boring.
No, it was, because it only got to like innings number 7, right?
Okay, that's 7 innings too many.
However, it was the Texas Rangers.
Or are they?
Hockey.
That's
I would like to say
New York Rangers is hockey.
It might just be Philadelphia because there's an article on it.
Oh, okay. What year?
2018.
Because Cleveland won in 2016.
That was the last Super Bowl they won.
That was the only Super Bowl they won.
It was also the last one we won. Thank you.
Yeah, with Big Dick Nick Foles at quarterback.
Yeah, and then we traded him away instantly, didn't we?
Yeah, well, he was the backup quarterback because you were all in on Carson Wentz. And
Who?
look at exactly.
No one will ever beat in the NBA Tingus Pingus. All-time GOAT.
Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, Porzingis. Tingus Pingus.
Who the fuck?
It's Tingus Pingus. If you've never...
I ain't never heard no
Lativia. If you don't know who Tingus Pingus is, go on YouTube and type in who the fuck is Tingus Pingus and watch a sports fan go berserk at his TV for 30 seconds.
I don't know who Tingus Fingers is, so I'll be looking this up after.
I think he got drafted to the Knicks, so it's a full-on New York accent as well.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Yeah, basically, who the fuck is Tingus Pingus?
He's like Porzingis from Latvia, and he's like, I didn't heard of Latvia. Just going apeshit at his telly. We should wrap up, gentlemen.
We should.
Yes.
Well, I guess we're going to do this weekly from now on, aren't we?
Pretty much.
I mean, there's enough sport that we can cover in this that every week we'll have fresh content.
Well, literally, we've only got to get through, next week and the week after, and it'll just be NRL dominated.
And I mean, it's still going to be NRL dominated anyway. We've got the trials on this weekend.
And the All-Stars.
But no one's playing in that this year. Everyone pulled out.
Trailmit's playing.
Is he?
Is he actually still allowed to play?
I think Trailmit's still allowed to play.
Oh, okay.
Shit. You might want to take a plane to get over then. He's got a little bit of time.
Shit.
I think he's already there.
Where are they playing? They're playing in the US, aren't they?
No,
they're playing in New Zealand.
Oh, right.
They have... Isn't it like the first time they're playing in New Zealand as well? For both games or something like that?
I think so.
Oh, probably. Anyway, every week you can listen to us talk shit about sports and each other and our friends.
Yes, definitely.
Do we have socials yet?
Yes.
We have social media.
It's all at Bums on the Bench because I'm not dumb like you.
What did I do? I did like at...
You had at Bums Formula for Formula Bums on Twitter. But everything else is at Formula Bums.
Is it because you couldn't get Formula Bums or you just thought you wanted to be a bit different?
I'm going to go with the first one. It was probably the second one, to be honest.
I respect it, though.
I respect it too. We're Bums on the Bench. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next week.
Yep.
Yeehaw.